Thank you for joining us. David Heurtel with you. Finance Minister Éric Girard, we were talking about this all morning, announced on X yesterday that the province has had 2 straight negative growth quarters. However, he refuses to say that we are in a recession, even though his social media post literally provides what the definition of a recession is. Something Liberal M&A from Marguerite-Bourgeoys, an official opposition critic for the economy and innovation, Frederic Beauchemin, pointed out in a reply to the finance minister's post. And Frederic Beauchemin joins me now. Thank you for your time this morning, Frederic.
Good morning, David.
So, what do you think? Are we in a recession or aren't we?
Well, it is the true definition of a recession. 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP. I mean, that's in the books.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually see that when you go to school. So I'm not too sure what the minister is not seeing that we are all seeing. I mean, and the signs were there months ago. Like for the last 9 months, we've seen slowing down, and I've actually questioned the minister at the National Assembly a couple of times on it. And basically, he was always putting on pinky sunglasses, thinking the future was bright and everything was going to be fine and hunky and dory and all that sort of thing. But at the end of the day, he's not basically telling Quebecers what the situation is all about. And that leads Quebecers to make the wrong decision, spending more when they should actually start saving to face up with what is the recession.
I just finished speaking with our listeners during our call-in segments to ask them how they feel about the economy, and it was all negative. There's absolutely no optimism. Life is tough. Right now, the economy is not heading in the right direction, yet we seem to see this government continuing to make these bizarre moves, like the $7 million to the LA Kings and the way they're handling the public sector negotiations. I mean, You sat in a National Assembly. You just told me you were asking questions to Éric Girard during question period. I mean, what do you get the sense? Because I remember when I was in the National Assembly, you get the sense, when something's going on, you can read people. I mean, what is your read on François Legault, Éric Girard about the status of the economy? Are they really that dense? Are they not getting it?
They're not getting it. It's actually they're losing grip on it, and they're losing grip on it because obviously it's not a good thing when you're in power to actually have the economy slowing down. So they don't want to face up to reality. That's their challenge. And at the end of the day, Quebecers need to be told the truth. They need to be, in complete control of what the information is all about, and they need to be told that it is slowing down. Therefore, perhaps it's not the proper time to do some excessive spending at the moment, and maybe you should save money. I mean, that's the role of government, to prepare people for all kinds of situations.
So you're the Liberal critic for finance. So if you were finance minister in a Liberal government, what would you be doing right now to turn things around?
Well, I mean, first of all, as I just said, you need to basically say it, this is the status of the economy. And by the way, the third quarter is not going to be rosy either because, as you can imagine, everything is slowing down. Consumer confidence is lower. And not only that, the 600,000 government employees on strike, some have already been on strike for at least 3 to 4 weeks. I mean, that is money away from the economy. So it is going to be a negative fourth quarter. And so therefore there will be 3 quarters in a row with negative GDP. So, I mean, I don't know what else we need to see to have this defined as a slowing down period for sure.
But are there moves right now that you would want to see this government make to try to soften the blow for Quebecers?
I think getting to an agreement with the government employee is essential. I think that, basically lowering the cost of living expenditure, which the government can actually do sometimes by, reducing taxes or reducing fees that the government are charging throughout the economy at multiple levels. That's things that can be done. Obviously, you need to stimulate economic development in order for it to counterbalance slowing down in the economy. I mean, Northvolt is a good idea. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I think it's a good idea, but they're putting a lot of money in that one basket. We have 292,000 other PME across Quebec in all 17 regions of Quebec. And they're not being, subsidized to the tune of $2 million per job that these small businesses are creating in Quebec. I mean, obviously, if they were, they wouldn't be slowing down. They would be excited about, actually adding more people to work or spending money on innovation. So, I think that there's an equilibrium that needs to be done. I mean, they're putting all their energy into that file, which makes sense in some way, but you need to be balanced and redistribute evenly so that all other businesses can actually be flourishing in this economy. And that's what I would suggest.
Okay, so Frederic, I want to ask you about this fall. I mean, it wasn't easy for you. You just recently reintegrated the Liberal caucus. There were some harassment accusations made. They were dropped. And I just want to have just your perspective on the experience. I mean, it cannot have been easy the last few months.
No, I don't wish that on anyone, honestly. I mean, it's a process, and I actually was supported by a lot of people, and I think that one of the things I wanted to make sure that was going to happen is that this was a process that was going to happen as fast as possible. Nothing there. Let's just move on. Let's get it behind us and move forward. And so, mediation is the fastest way for all the people, all the kids actually that were involved in this thing, all the young adults that were involved in this thing, for that to be behind them as well, as opposed to going through a more investigation approach, case by case. I mean, at the end of the day, that would have taken 12 to 18 more months. And, we're talking about, for me, I mean, I don't care. I'm 58. I've got lots of experience in tough situations in life, so that's tough, but, it is what it is. But we're talking about Elise, or we're talking about the other kids that were involved in that thing. At the end of the day, they would have been in this, soup, let's just call it that way, for at least another year. And how difficult would that have been on their morale and their jobs? So, no, not a good thing. So let's just make things the fastest as possible, and it's behind us. And I'm looking forward now to work with my colleagues and take my role as a Liberal critic in economy, finance, and innovation with my colleagues to the next level.
Before the accusations were made, you had started making the rounds publicly that you were interested in, or at least exploring, the running for the Liberal leadership. You were making the rounds in the media. You were openly talking about this. You were active on social media, a lot of posts. You did during the summer. You toured Quebec, meeting with Quebecers. Are you still interested in running for the Liberal leadership?
I took a step back to look at what this meant for me personally, and I've actually looked at it from multiple angles, obviously, but, at the moment right now, my priority is to really focus on my writing and my job as a Liberal critic, and that's what priority number one will be. As for the leadership, it's not out of the question, but I need to basically regroup and think about this going forward and basically assess what I'm standing on right now.
Are you even thinking about staying in politics or not? Is that something that's part of your thought process right now?
Of course, I want to stay in politics.
Okay.
The initial reason why I went into politics is to basically help the next generation, to help all of us guide this boat in the best possible inclusive direction. And so from my perspective, economic development for all, with respect of, rights and liberty and freedom for all is essential. So that's always been, and it will always be, the reason why I want to get involved. And helping others is something, it's actually very rewarding. For me, it's something that I really, really enjoy when I see the smile, when we're helping people around. It's very, there's no other feeling.
No, there isn't. It's the best part of politics. It's the ultimate best part of politics. That's why I loved it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Frederic, thank you for your time this morning. I wish you all the best for the new year and happy holidays.
Thank you very much, everyone. Merry Christmas. Thanks, David, and have a great season.
Thank you. Frederic Beauchemin, liberal M&A for Marguerite-Bourgeoys and official opposition critic for the economy and innovation.